Hello and welcome back to RevMode's Play's Armoured Warfare, where today we're going to be taking a look at the PT-76 light tank. As usual, we'll use the same format. We'll look at the vehicle in real life, we'll then take a look at the stats and upgrades in game, and finally we'll finish off seeing the vehicle in action in the game. So, the PT-76 is a Soviet amphibious light tank which was introduced in the early 1950s and soon became the standard reconnaissance tank of the Soviet Army and other Warsaw Pact armed forces. It was widely exported to other friendly states like India, Iraq, Syria, North Korea and North Vietnam. Overall, some 25 countries used the PT-76. The tank's full name is something in Russian that I'm not even going to try and pronounce, but it translates to Swimming Tank 76, with the 76 standing for the calibre of the main armament, the 76.2mm D56T series rifled tank gun. The PT-76 is used in the reconnaissance and fire support roles. The development. After World War II, the concept of the light tank was resurrected in the USSR. They were to be used in reconnaissance units and therefore an amphibious ability was essential. The requirements stated that the vehicle should be able to cross water obstacles with little preparation. Many prototypes of such light tanks were built in the late 1940s. The most successful was the Object 740. This vehicle was successful because it had a simple design, good navigational traits and a good cross-country capability. At the time, its water jet design was innovative. A prototype was built at the Kirov plant in 1950 and the tank was officially adopted on the 6th of August 1951 with the designation PT-76. The tank has subsequently been modified. In 1957 a new gun, the D56TM, was fitted. It featured a double baffle muzzle brake and a fume extractor. The hull was also raised by 13 cm and the tank was equipped with new vision and communication devices. All first series tanks were subsequently modified to receive the D56TM gun and the other new equipment. In 1959 an improved variant, the PT-76B, was adopted and remained in production until 1967. The main improvements were a new gun, the D56TS gun, which featured stabilisation, and nuclear, biological and chemical protection. The design. The PT-76 has a typical tank layout, with the steering compartment at the front, the combat compartment in the centre and the engine compartment to the rear. The tank has a three-man crew, with the commander also acting as radio operator and gunner. This severely reduces effectiveness as an observer. The commander and loader are stationed inside the turret, the commander sitting to the left hand side of the main armament and the loader sitting to the right. They have a large oval shaped double hatch which opens forward on top of the turret. The driver sits in the centre of the front of the hull and has a one-piece hatch that opens to the right, with 3 vision blocks and periscopes located beneath the main gun at the top of the sloping glacis plate. Under the driver's seat there is an emergency hatch which can be used by all crew members. The armament. The PT-76 main armament is a 76.2mm rifled tank gun, which has an effective range of approximately 1,500 metres and a rate of fire of between 6 and 8 rounds per minute. This main gun, which is considered light for a modern tank, can fire high velocity armour piercing rounds, sub-calibre armour piercing trace rounds, armour piercing trace, armour piercing incendiary trace and fragmentation high explosive rounds, and is capable of penetrating the armour of APCs and other lightly armoured vehicles. The commander has a cupola on the left hand side of the double hatch. The cupola has the TPKU-2B observation device and 2 TMP day periscopes and can be rotated through a full 360 degrees by hand. The commander also has a 4x optical sight mounted to the left of the main armament and TSHK-66 sight rangefinder. The loader has the Mark IV observation device mounted on the turret's roof in front of the hatch. Armour. The armour of the PT-76 consists of homogeneously cold-rolled welded steel. This gives it protection against 7.62mm small arms fire and small artillery shell fragments. It does not protect it against 12.7mm or .50 caliber heavy machine gun fire or larger shell fragments. Mobility. The PT-76 uses a torsion bar suspension which consists of 6 evenly spaced large rubber tired road wheels with a drive sprocket at the rear and an idler at the front. These road wheels are hollow to minimise weight. These hollow road wheels increase the tank's buoyancy by 30%. There are no track return rollers. The first and last road wheels have a hydraulic shock absorber, and it uses a steel track using the single pin design. It has a straight 6-cylinder 4-stroke water-cooled diesel engine. This develops 240 horsepower at 1800 rpm, which gives it a road speed of 44 km per hour and a range of between 370 and 400 km. The PT-76 has a 5-speed manual shaft-type transmission similar to the one used on the T-34-85. The gearbox has 4 forward gears and 1 reverse. The PT-76 is amphibious. It has a flat boat-shaped hull. It can swim after switching on the 2 electrical bilge pumps, erecting the trim frame, which improves the vehicle's stability and displacement in the water and prevents water from flooding into the bows of the tank. Now we'll move on to the statistics and the upgrades available to the vehicle in game. Starting off with the statistics. The average damage is 189 with a penetration of 133mm of armour. This gives it a damage per minute of 1854. For defence, it has 840 hit points. The armour on the hull is 13mm to the front, 14mm to the side and 6mm to the rear. The modifiers for armour piercing, high explosive and shape charges are all 1. The turret has 20mm of armour to the front, 16mm to the side and 10mm to the rear, and again the modifiers for all 3 types of rounds is 1. On the mobility, the maximum speed is 36 km per hour with a 0 to 32 km per hour time of 5.30 seconds. It has a camouflage rating of 0.18 and a view range of 385 metres. The main armament has a depression of -4 degrees to the front and -1 degrees to the rear. The turret traverse is 30.16 degrees per second. The main armament has a reload time of 6.12 seconds, an accuracy of 0.13 degrees and a targeting time for fully aimed of 2.60 seconds. Now we'll move on to the upgrades. We have an upgrade for the 76mm BK350M high explosive anti-tank round. This gives us access to the anti-tank round for the starting main armament. You then have the 76mm UBR354B armour piercing round. This is an upgrade to the armour piercing round for the initial gun, which gives you +10 damage and +7mm of penetration. You then have a new gun with the 76.2mm D56TM, and for that new gun you have the 76mm BM354P high velocity armour piercing round. This gives a +4 damage, a +3mm of penetration, and it has an increase of 300 meters per second for the muzzle velocity of this armour piercing round. We also have an engine upgrade with the V6M diesel engine. This gives you an increase of 25 horsepower and an increase of the 0 to 32 km per hour time of 1.15 seconds. On the technology front, we have the upgrade for the STP-2P Zarya stabiliser, which gives us a 20% increase when firing on the move. The TS-HK2 66 sight, which is an overall 10% increase to accuracy, and a ventilation system which gives us a 10% increase to crew efficiency. So now we have a quick table to compare the light tanks in the game, and as we can see, the PT-76 is winning across the board on this one so far because it's the first light tank we've looked at in the game. And now we'll move on to looking at the PT-76 light tank in action in the game.
All right, Black Company. We've lured the NPAA's Air Force out, but the area is still heavily reinforced. You'll need to take over their base and wait for reinforcements. Good luck. They don't take prisoners. Black Company. New objective. Quickly. Enemy supply trucks are leaving the area. Our jets will provide flares to mark their locations. Move to intercept and use whatever force necessary. No panic. Identified. Hostile tank. Ammo up. Identified. Hostile tank. Ammo up. Target destroyed. Identify. Hostile tank. Well done, Black Trumpet. Identify target. Hostile tank. Well done, Black Company. Up! Ammo! Enemy lit up! Well done, Black Company. A win against the NPAA is a win for humanity. Good work. Your reinforcements are incoming. That's the first step in driving out the NPAA extremists.
So there we have it, the PT-76 in Armoured Warfare. Again, thanks for watching and hope to see you again. Goodbye.